Newport now delivers the 0-1. Misses low, 1-1. We apologize if there were any technical difficulties recently. We are now back and bringing you Michigan softball, the WCBN Sports Call, Dalton Pataki and Emily Herrard. The 1-1 to Aiden Falk, misses low, 2-1. Natalie Peters sitting there at third base, maybe waiting hopefully for a passed ball from the pitcher-catcher combo of Newport and Netley. And the 2-1 comes in, gets the outside third of the plate, 2-2 with 2 outs. Newport stands in there, left leg down, right leg bent a little bit at the knees. She now winds, delivers, and a hit down the left field line. If it's fair, it's good. No, as that one would have rolled all the way to the wall, it would have been a stand-up double, but tail just fouled on that left field line.
Yeah, almost dropped right inside the line, and that would have been, clutch for the Wolverines.
Ian Falk now steps back in there, still fighting, as Michigan tries to get ahead early here in this one. Now the delivery and a chopper to the first base line as Bush is going to scoop that up, practically standing on top of first as it is, and that'll end the inning. Michigan threatens but does not score, and we are tied as we go into the top of the second. It's 0-0 here at Alumni Field as Michigan takes on the Northwestern Wildcats in today's Sunday ender here in the 3-game weekend series. You're listening to the WCBN Sports Call of Michigan softball. The alumni band in attendance today, as they were the past 2 days.
And a good crowd here, as it's a perfect afternoon to watch softball. Nice and warm, sunny. Couldn't ask for a better day for softball.
No, you really couldn't. 61 degrees, sunny. I mean, for April 2nd, it's about as good as it gets. Megan Betza back in the circle for the Wolverines. She is going to face Ellis Peterson Williams, due up for the Wildcats. As the Michigan bench reserves run in from their stretching down that right field line. The infield hums it around one time, and now we are just about ready to get back underway here at Alumni Field. Aaron Peterson maybe looking into the Michigan dugout for if there's any potential advice that the Michigan bench could have for the home plate umpire, Aaron Peterson. As Kenzie Ellis steps in, the first pitch she sees from Megan Betza misses just a bit high, ball 1. Now the 1-0. Swings straight through it was the Ellis, how even at 1-1. Megan Betza bringing the heat there. One and one to Ellis. Just below the knees, ball 2, 2-1. Megan Betza, uncharacteristically, no strikeouts yet. Now the 2-1 on a line as Montemurano reaches up and snags that one out of the air. Nice play there at the hot corner by Lindsay Montemurano, the senior third baseman who had her senior recognition day yesterday. one out here in the inning as Ellis is retired. Anna Peterson steps up to the plate, the right fielder who made the second out of the first inning. She steps in owning a 261 average on the year. 18 strikeouts to only 7 walks for her, but the first pitch she sees is a ball. It looks like we had a little action out in that Northwestern bullpen as they came running in. It looked to be Kaylee Weingartner, the sophomore righty who we saw pitch in Friday's tilt. Next pitch to Peterson came in as a strike, 1-1. Now the 1-1 driven to center field. Will Christner get there? No, not in time. One hop against the wall. Peterson coming around to second. Can she get there in time? She slides into second and is safe. A line drive double off the bat of Anna Peterson. And now Northwestern is in business with a runner on second and 1 out in the inning. As there will be a quick meeting in the circle for the Wolverines. It looks like it's just going to be between catcher Katie Alexander, Megan Betts, and Carol Hutchins. Maybe discussing what the best plan of attack here is for Krista Williams, as they're definitely trying to conserve Peterson there at second base. And Michigan, I would assume, is looking for their 7th consecutive shutout. Now Betsa meets with her infield to maybe relay the messages in an abbreviated version, as they are already broken. Krista Williams, the lefty left fielder, steps in, hitting .214 with runners in scoring position this year. She attempts to lay down a bunt. She misses. Strike 1. It looks like Northwestern is willing to sacrifice the out to move a runner to third and then bank on the bat of Brooke Marquez to bring in Peterson from third. Now the 0-1 comes in right down the middle for a strike as the bunt call was called off for the slap hitting Krista Williams. She now finds herself in an 0-2 hole, and this is when Megan Betts is oh so dangerous, when she can command her off speed or even her fastball to rack up all sorts of strikeouts. She comes in with the fastball just high, though, count 1 and 2. The 1-2 now fouled straight into that Northwestern dugout. So it looked like it was kicked down before any real damage could be done by the Northwestern coaching staff. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a low fastball in the dirt as Megan Betsa picks up her first strikeout of the day and her 1,002nd of her career. 2 outs now in the inning as Marquez will step to the plate and look to bring home Peterson, who is still at second after hitting that 1-out line drive double that bounced against the wall. The first pitch to the short-statured Marquez is high, ball 1. Marquez showing bunt at the plate. She pulls it back as Betsa winds and delivers. Oh, and that one, I'm not sure where it missed, but called the ball by home plate umpire Erin Peterson.
Megan Betsa smiling a little bit with that call, not agreeing.
Count, though, is 2-0 nonetheless, and Betsa's going to have to battle back here as she starts that process with a foul ball off the bat of Marquez. Betza getting the pitch call as she checks her wristband and steps back into the circle now. The 2-1. Hit down the left field line, but foul. Count now even, 2-2. Megan Betza's battled back by way of the foul ball, and now I'm sure she's looking to induce a swing and a miss for her second strikeout of the day. Now the 2-2 to Marquez. On the outside part of the third, and she gets a backwards cane to end the inning. Northwestern strands a runner on second, and Megan Betza picks up her second strikeout of the day to end the inning, as Michigan will now look to claim the lead here for the first time today in the bottom of the second, due up for the Wolverines as the 5-6-7 hitters Blanco, Ramirez, Christner. It's Megan Betza Day here at Alumni Field, and so far she's actually kind of having an uncharacteristic day, has already given up 2 hits and only 2 strikeouts through 6 outs total. Tara Blanco, who had a nice day at the plate yesterday, I'm sure will look to continue today, and she's cap off a nice weekend series as she's looking to bring up that batting average from a cold start. She's only batting .228 on the season. Only 3 home runs thus far and has struck out 12 times. The tall first baseman waits to step in. She gets a few words of encouragement from her head coach, Carol Hutchins. The Alumni Band playing that Journey tune we're all so familiar with. So now we get the go-ahead from the TV crew here. We can get our action underway. Blanco steps in to face Newport for the first time today. And the first pitch she sees, takes a cut at it, pops it straight up, and it stays in play. But Peterson's going to rule it hit the netting before Netling can catch it. And Tara Blanco, instead of retiring to the dugout, will just step back in to the plate, but with 1 strike on her. Now the 0-1. Misses low and away. Count even at 1-1. For Tara Blanco, the California native, maybe playing in weather she's a little bit more used to today. Now the 1-1 comes in low, but just below the knees. 2-1. The outfield playing relatively deep, especially the left fielder Williams. Infield playing normal depth. And a line drive bounces straight in front of Williams, and Tara Blanco is going to be on with a hard hit single. Nice to see a good swing out of her.
Yeah, just as you said, Williams was back far. Tara Blanco hit it right in front of her and got on first base.
And it looks like Nikki Wald will be coming in to pinch run for Tara Blanco, something we see quite often as Carol Hutchins makes that substitution. Nikki Wald, known strictly for her base running. She's appeared in 26 games this season, but only has 1 registered at bat. Now up to the plate, Abby Ramirez batting in that 6th hole, almost like a second leadoff hitter for the Wolverines. We saw her as she hits one to second base. And the speed of Wald keeps away a double play, but the throw just barely beats out Abby Ramirez. The home crowd not agreeing with the call of first base umpire Naomi Erdahl. Couldn't have been more than a half a step that throw from Panko got her by. Nonetheless, it's still an out. Nikki Wald, though, finds herself on second with Kelly Christner at the plate looking to bring her home. First pitch and off speed that floats in for a strike. Now the 0-1 to Christner. Misses low, count even at 1-1. Michigan did a nice job yesterday against Nicole Bond, working themselves to favorable hitters counts. The 1-1 misses outside, 2-1, and that's exactly what Kelly Christner's done here. Now the 2-1. Hit softly to second baseman Marquez. She flips it up and over to Bush for an easy out there. That'll advance Nikki Wald to third. And just like they were in the first inning, Michigan finds themselves with a runner on third and 2 outs. And now it'll be up to Katie Alexander to bring her home.
I was just going to say, last inning, the Wolverines left Natalie Peters on third. See if the Wolverines can bring in Nikki Wald for the first run of the afternoon.
Katie Alexander steps to the dish, and the first pitch she sees on the outside third of the plate for a strike. Wind now blowing from right to left, helping any type of potential power out towards that left field line. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. I don't think the Northwestern dugout was too pleased with that call there from home plate umpire Peterson. Now the 1-1 hit on a line, snagged there by Nelson at third base, but not before it was foul. Count now 1-2. Katie Alexander gets a couple words of advice from Carol Hutchins. Alexander steps back in. Peterson calls for ball, and that one bounces in there from Newport. Count even at 2-2. That one bouncing a good 4 or 5 feet short of home plate. Not even tempting for Katie Alexander. Now the windup and delivery from Newport. The 2-2 hit and fouled over the protective netting into the stands as it looks like it hits the aluminum stairs here along the first base line. Two the count with 2 outs, runner on third base. That runner is Nikki Wald. Newport looking to get out of this one unscathed again. Now the 2-2 must have missed just inside. It's about as close as you're going to see without seeing a ring up there of Katie Alexander. Count runs full. Three-two count. The payoff pitch. A changeup that's pulled down the left field line, but well foul. I'm sure frustration is growing with Morgan Newport in that circle. Every pitch that Katie Alexander will not be retired by. And the 3-2. Fouled back away. Katie Alexander staying alive. Spoiling any potential strikeout pitches from Newport. Now the 3-2. Hit line drive straight up the middle. That'll score the run as Katie Alexander has an RBI single here in the bottom of the second. Michigan takes a 1-run lead off the bat of their starting catcher.
And as you said, Newport, her frustration is going to continue to build as Alexander finally won the battle between them.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration with Katie Alexander and Newport really come to fruition there as Newport maybe was just hoping to get something in play as she grooved one right down the middle. And Katie Alexander, she says, I'm just going to send that right back where it came from. A picture-perfect hit to drive in the first run of the game for either team. Now to the plate, Lindsay Montemorano, the sure-handed third baseman for the Wolverines. First pitch she sees comes in high, ball 1. And it looks like we're going to have a meeting here between the Northwestern coaching staff and the infield. And they definitely don't want to let this one spiral out of control and maybe flip over to the top of the order. I'm sure they want to end the inning here with Montemorano as Natalie Peters has had a excellent weekend, bumping her average up to 262 as it sits right now. Monty batting 273. Bit of a power outage early on this year for Lindsay Montemorano, only 1 home run. But I'm sure she will see the ball leave the yard a few more times as the weather gets warmer. Now the 1-0, a half check swing will get fouled down the left field line, count even at 1-1. Now the 1-1 from Newport. Fouled right back towards the press box, hitting right on the roof over top of us. Count now 1-2. Newport looking for her first strikeout of the day. Now the 1-2. Strike 3. Got Monty looking, and that'll end the inning, but not before the Wolverines can strike for 1. We go to the top of the third, and Michigan takes a 1-0 lead as Megan Betza jogs back into that circle.
And after that strikeout, you saw Newport, a little confidence coming back into her after, a little bit of a struggle, but that strikeout really helped her.
And yesterday we saw the Wolverines, they were able to get runners on, weren't really able to bring them home. And as we are into the third inning, we've seen multiple opportunities for the Wolverines to maybe mount a big inning together, maybe get those crooked numbers that we're so familiar with them putting up. But give credit to the Northwestern pitchers, particularly Newport today and Bond yesterday. They've kept the batters at bay, and they've kept clutch hits from coming when Michigan needs them. As a perfect strike is thrown down from Katie Alexander to Abby Ramirez at second, we are about ready to get underway with the top of the third.
Here on Megan Betza Day, she's going to look for a couple more strikeouts at the top of the third, and she only has 2 so far this afternoon.
someone who comes in averaging double-digit strikeouts per start. It's certainly interesting to see her only have 2 strikeouts through 2 innings. Great numbers by anyone else's standards, but by the senior Megan Betza, she's a little bit behind pace, and I'm sure she'll want to catch up here. And she can make up a little bit of ground this inning as she will be facing the 8-9-1 hitters in Bush, Netling, Rabin. Elsie Bush, the first baseman. First pitch she sees comes in, misses for ball 1. Monty and Tara playing inside first and third. Ramirez and Canfield playing deep up the middle. As the 1-1 is blown right by a swinging Bush, and count even at 1-1. Outfield playing relatively deep. There's a lot of room in between the infield and where the outfielders stand to work with. And the 1-1 is Bush gets caught on the inside handle of the bat, pops one easily to Tara Blanco for the first out of the inning. Blanco did a nice job there going inside and sawing off Bush right at the handle of the bat. They'll bring up Sammy Netling, the catcher who's done an excellent job this weekend. Netling only batting .200 on the year, though. Struck out 12 times and 75 at-bats, and the first pitch she sees fouls straight back. Now the 0-1. Misses way high, 1-1. Megan Betza looking for her first 1-2-3 inning of the day. The 1-1. Easy grounder there. Scooped up by Ramirez at first. Flips it over to Blanco and retires Netling there. First 2 down in the top of the third. Now bring up the slap hitting Rabin, who had that single in the first inning. It was a chopper to right back at Megan Betza, but Betza couldn't get it off in time. And Rabin attempts the bunt there, but fouls it straight back for the first strike of the at-bat. Monty playing way in, maybe closer to home plate right now than she is to third. Now the 0-1. Misses low, 1-1. That's maybe upset there that she missed her spot. The 1-1. Misses low and away, 2-1. Rabin had that single, but then when she tried to take and steal second, she left a little bit early and was called out that way. Now the 2-1 hit down that left field line, but foul just into the cut of the grass, or turf, I guess would be the correct nomenclature. Two and two, the count on Sabrina Rabin. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Megan Betza looking for her first 1-2-3 inning. And a swing and a miss. Oh, I believe it was foul tipped. And Rabin will have new life, at least for one more pitch. And the 2-2, a bunt straight to Betza. Betza gets it, fires it off to first. And it looks like she hit it twice as she was leaving the box, and Raven is going to get called out again in unconventional way, but the first 1-2-3 inning for Megan Betts and the Wolverines as they look to extend their one-run lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Yeah, it looked like Raven may have hit the ball once more as she left the box on that slap bunt attempt. We see that not often, but we see it a few times over the course of the season, as that is the nature with slap hitting. You start in the back of the box and run forward, and sometimes you just can't get out of your own way.
So far this afternoon, Raven almost having 2 good outings, but kind of shooting herself in the foot.
Two up for the Wolverines. They turn it back over to the top of the lineup. Peters, Canfield, Vargas. Natalie Peters had that slap single straight up the middle in her first at bat against Newport. Newport back in the circle for the Wildcats. As the Wildcats convene in the circle, looking to preserve the one-run deficit, and hopefully turn it back over to their bats to see if they can scratch one across on Megan Betts and the Wolverines. But they have to get through the Michigan batters before they can get back to the plate. That's no easy task, as the first 4 hitters in this lineup are batting well above 300. As Peters steps in, she throws that bat over her left shoulder. She runs up, and the first pitch she sees is a strike, 0-1. Peters only struck out 6 times this year, so definitely not one that's susceptible to striking out. As she slaps once to the second base, Marquez picks it up, fires to Bush at first, and retires Peters by a step and a half there. 1 up, 1 down in the inning for Morgan Newport and the Wildcats. Faith Canfield will now look to get something going for the Wolverines as the number 2 hitting second baseman steps to the dish. She lays a bunt down straight back at Newport, and looks like the Wildcats weren't quite ready for it as Bush came charging in. Marquez caught sleeping at second, couldn't get there in time, and Canfield finds herself on first with a bunt hit.
Yeah. Newport looked to throw to Marquez on first, but she just wasn't quite ready, allowing Canfield to make it to first.
Canfield, even though she is 7 for 7 on stolen base attempts this year, she's not known for her speed on this Michigan team. Now the first pitch to designated player Amanda Vargas comes in there for a ball, 1-0. Now the 1-0 from Newport. Hit on a line drive past the shortstop Panko into left field. All runners will move up 60 feet, and now Michigan has something cooking with runners on first and second with 1 out, and Aiden Falk up to the plate. Nice piece of hitting there for Amanda Vargas.
Falk batting .318 this season.
.318 on the season and grounded out earlier today. First pitch he sees fouls over those bleachers on the third base line. Newport trying to keep this only a one-run differential game as the 0-1 is fouled now down the first baseline. Aiden Falk testing both foul territories early on in this at-bat. Now the 0-2 coming to Aiden Falk, misses low and away, count 1-2. A strikeout would do wonders for Morgan Newport and the Wildcats. Wind now blowing straight out of left field. The 1-2 to Falk. Hit right behind Bonnie Thole at first base as she jumps out of the way. She gets a loud applause from the Michigan faithful along the first base line here. Aiden Falk seems to be hitting it everywhere but fair territory. The 1-2 once more. A changeup that misses low. Falk wanted to swing at it, had her weight moving forward, but had the discipline to hold that bat back. Count now even at 2-2. Now the 2-2 hit foul down the left field line into that protective netting halfway between home and the fence. Aiden Falk battling tough. Runners on first and second, one out. Michigan leads 1-0. Now a soft chopper to Bush. She throws to second, trying to turn the double play. They can't get it, and now Michigan will have runners on the corners for Tara Blanco, who had a nice single to left field her first time up. It'll be interesting to see if, with Aiden Falk and Faith Canfield on the corners, if Hutch will go with that first third steal to try and scratch off another run here, or if she has faith in Tara Blanco to bring in a run. Blanco steps in, steps out, and is going to call time as Netling is going to run into the circle, and the infield's going to come in too, looking like they're going to discuss the potential first third steal. Hopefully umpire Aaron Peterson comes to break up the conglomerate that's inside the circle that's consisting of the Northwestern infield. And the first pitch to Blanco hits her, and now bases will be loaded. And it looks like they're maybe going to say Blanco made no effort to get out of the way. I'm not sure what the call is here.
I guess that's what they must have said, which really bails out Newport. Otherwise, the bases would have been loaded with Abby Ramirez up next.
It will be ruled a ball, though, so the count is 1-0. Tara Blanco wears one on the back shoulder. She's going to have to step back in there. Next pitch she sees comes in across the knees for a strike, 1-1. Hutch is pretty fired up there down that first base line. She's now just yelling at Blanco to just get a hit. Don't leave it up to the umpires. The next pitch comes low and inside, but will be called for a strike. Count is now 1-2 as I'm sure you can hear the Michigan fans voice their displeasure. Now the 1-2 to Blanco. Skips in there for a ball, 2-2. The 2-2 with 2 outs to Tara Blanco. Hit on a line drive to left field. That'll score 1. And Tara Blanco with 2 line drive singles to left field today is going to pick up an RBI as Michigan extends their lead to 2-0.
She just ripped that one, and Coach Hutchins is happy with that effort by Tara Blanco.
And to go from the getting hit on the very first pitch to maybe a couple bad strike calls going against you to just ignore all that and then rip a single into left field is
great turnaround.
Excellent turnaround. And it looks like we're going to have Courtney Richardson come in and run for Aiden Falk. That may be a full substitution as Richardson may move to left field and Peters may move back to right. We will see how the defensive alignment for the Wolverines looks in the top of the 4th, but we have to get there first as there's runners on first and second with 2 outs for Abby Ramirez. First one she sees fouls off towards that Northwestern dugout on the third base line. Ramirez grounded out to Panko in the second inning, looking to pick up her first hit of the day. She's batting .376 on the season. The next pitch she sees inside, 1-1 is the count. Newport looks in, gets the sign, now delivers. Misses outside, 2-1, and a fake throw back to second from Netling has Richardson sliding back in, getting that uniform a little dirty early on. Two and one, the count to Abby Ramirez. She hits one and it was fouled off of her. The correct call by home plate umpire Aaron Peterson. Hutch yelling towards home plate. Not sure if she's yelling at Ramirez or Peterson. It certainly looked like to be the correct call up here. Now the 2-2 hit towards Bush as she picks it up and makes the tag halfway down the first base line. That'll end the inning, but off a line drive single from Tara Blanco, Michigan extends their lead to 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th.
And Michigan still leaving 2 on base, so only scoring 1 in the 3rd.
You may hear the Michigan fans getting loud, and for good reason. They're honoring the Michigan women's basketball team who captured their first banner in program history as they won the WNIT championship yesterday at Callahan Hall in Detroit, Michigan, defeating Georgia Tech in what took a little longer than normal, 3 overtimes. They believe that one, what was that, 89-79?
Correct, yeah.
10-point win in triple overtime, something you don't see often. And I'm sure the Wolverines on the field today will look to mimic the Wolverines' results yesterday, maybe not in 3 extra innings, but I'm sure they're looking to get the win nonetheless as Megan Betza steps back in now with a 2-0 lead. She'll be facing the 2-3-4 hitters for the Wildcat. Marissa Panko, she grounded out to Faith Canfield in the top of the first inning. She's getting her second at-bats today. Batting .330 on the season. Is prone to striking out, though, has 24 strikeouts in 94 at-bats. And the first pitch she sees misses outside, ball one. Megan Betts only 2 strikeouts so far. Pretty uncharacteristic of her. Now the 1-0. Misses high, 2-0. And she's going to have to battle back here against the junior shortstop, Marissa Panko. The 2-0. An attempted bunt there, but the pitch misses low, 3-0. And I guess there's enough cause for concern as Katie Alexander is going to have to come into the circle to talk with Megan Betts and see what maybe the best plan of action to battle back is here. As the circle breaks, the Wolverines come back. Megan Betts flashing that contagious grin of hers. She checks the wristband on her left forearm. She delivers the 3-0 fastball right down the middle. Count now 3-1. Now the 3-1. Fastball right down the middle once more. She's battled back, and now the count's full, and the pressures switch back to Marissa Panko now. Now the 3-2. Popped foul, but there's room for Monty to make it down that third base side, and Marissa Panko, after getting ahead 3-0, is now retired, and the first out of the top of the fourth inning has been recorded.
It seems like whenever Betsa and Alexander meet in the circle, Betsa comes back focused with 2 strikes after that last meeting.
That'll bring up Morgan Nelson, the third baseman who is a sophomore at Northwestern. First pitch she sees just misses outside, but not by much. That's a twist. Wines delivers, and a swing and a miss on a ball that was in the dirt. I think Nelson may have predetermined that she was going to swing at that pitch no matter what, as that one skipped in about 4 feet in front of the plate. Megan Betts will take it, though. The count's 1-1 with 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Next pitch right down Main Street, 1-2. Now Megan Betts in the driver's seat for this at-bat. Now the 1-2. Skipped it in there, 2-2. Haven't seen much off speed from Megan Betts yet today. Now may be the time to pull it out of the pantry. Now the 2-2. Fastball foul down that left field line. Richardson will not be able to make a play on it. And as was predicted in the bottom of the third, Courtney Richardson is now subbed in defensively for Aiden Falk. Natalie Peters moved from left field to right, and Richardson will take her spot in left. The 2-2 from Megan Betsa to Morgan Nelson. Outside part of the plate, called strike 3. Megan Betsa picks up a backwards K and her third strikeout of the day. Nice piece of pitching there from the senior Megan Betsa. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth as Kenzie Ellis steps up. First pitch she sees is an off speed that floats in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 on the inside part of the plate, but just too far inside. Count 1-1. The 1-1. Right down the middle, 1-2, and Megan Betson can maybe sniff her 4th strikeout of the day. Betson twists, taps the mitt, winds, delivers. Just misses as Tara Blanco was running into the dugout from first base. Thinking that was almost certainly strike 3, but Aaron Peterson says otherwise. Now the 2-2 from number 3. Swing and a miss, you betcha. Strikeout number 4. 1 for every inning so far. As another 1-2-3 inning for Megan Betson. The Wolverines as they look to extend their 2-0 lead. You are listening to Michigan Softball here on WCBN Sports, the Student Sports Radio Network. Looks like Newport will be coming out once more for the Wildcats. She's getting some words of advice from her pitching coach and head coach. The Michigan Wolverines are featured on a weekly podcast produced by our very own Jeremy Parks, Morris Fabry, and Kevin Klein. East of the Rockies, the only Michigan softball podcast on the market. You can find that on SoundCloud, or you can subscribe on iTunes. Just search East of the Rockies. That is a WCBN produced podcast, and a good one at that. They have weekly interviews. They talk about the past week's events. They maybe highlight the upcoming week's games. And I know they have a lot of fun doing it, and they appreciate everyone that listens.
Yeah, great podcast, great dynamic between the 3 of them.
And a lot of other great podcasts you can check out on our website, WCBNsports.org. I know Mac and Bees is going on right now, an all-around sports podcast. Emily, do you still have your stepping out of bounds every now and again?
Every once in a while, yes. It's been a while, so got to get back down into the studio, talk some sports on stepping out of bounds.
And the Dak and Dunk Show, the podcast hosted by Duncan Robinson and Andrew Dockich, a couple Michigan basketball players. That's produced by WCBN's very own Leo Blavin. You can find that there as Kelly Christer now steps into the plate to get the 4th inning underway here. And first pitch she sees misses below the knees, ball 1. Now the 1-0 delivered from Newport. A hard line drive into right field. It'll be snagged up there by Peterson. Kelly Christner is on with her first hit of the day. Now bring up Katie Alexander, who had that RBI single in the 2nd inning. She had a lengthy at-bat, which eventually led to Newport throwing something right down the middle, and Alexander singled to center field. And it looks like we will have a pitching change here. It looks like we're going to see Kaylee Weingartner, who we saw pitch in Friday's game. She went 4 innings before getting the hook and ultimately received the loss in the decision. The alumni band playing the Frank Sinatra classic out there in the outfield grandstands in that top corner closest to center field. We look upon and see Michigan taking on Penn State at Ray Fisher Stadium. Beautiful facilities here at the Wilpon Baseball Softball Complex. Kaylee Weingartner steps in. She is the owner of a 3.09 ERA. It was below 3 before Friday's game against the Wolverines, but now she has a 147 whip, 3-3 on the year, 27 strikeouts to 22 walks. She will step in and face Katie Alexander with Kelly Christner on first.
Number 17, Katie Alexander.
Katie Alexander with a knock here could raise her average up over 300. Batting .296 now with the second inning single factored in. The first pitch from Weingartner misses outside, ball 1. Hutch giving signs over there at third. Christner 11 for 14 on the season in stolen base attempts. Now the 1-0 misses high, maybe a pitch out, as that brought up Netling from her stance. Now the 2-0 to Katie Alexander. Off speed dances in there for a strike, 2-1. We will get you the final line on Newport as soon as we see what happens to Kelly Christner on first base, as she is the last runner that can be accredited to Newport. As Christner takes off, a bunt is thrown down by Katie Alexander. That one misses wide left into right field. That'll move Christner up to third, and Katie Alexander is on first base, and we'll see if it looks like they're already ruling that an error, as I think that is the correct ruling, as Katie Alexander certainly would have been out had the throw been on target. But nonetheless, Michigan now finds himself with runner on the corners with no outs, and this could be the big inning that they're looking for. It'll be up to Monty now to see what she can do at the plate, as Katie Alexander has no stolen base attempts. Will Hutch try the old first and third double steal to try and get a run home? Now the first pitch to Monty. Misses outside, ball 1. For those of you scoring at home, it would be Alexander reaching on a throwing error by 1, but it was ruled a sacrifice bunt. The 1-0 to Monty misses way high. As Alexander takes off, she's going to get in that pickle. They try and get Christner at third, but to no avail, as Katie Alexander will just take 60 feet there. The throw was down to the shortstop, Panko, and Panko tried to whip around and toss it to third, but Christner was not biting. And now there's runners on second and third with no outs for Lindsay Montemurano, as the Michigan faithful are now getting into it. 2-0 the count. Misses outside, 3-0, and now Weingartner is in danger of walking the bases loaded. Now the 3-0. Right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. And the 3-1 or the 3-1 pitch is going to have to wait as Netling is going to call time and talk to Weingartner in the circle. Real quick meeting as Netling finds her way back behind the plate now. The 3-1 from Weingartner. Twist, winds, delivers. An off-speed that floats in there for a strike, 3-2. Confident pitch there by Kaylee Weingartner. Monty certainly wasn't looking for that, and she lets it go by, and now full count here in the top or bottom of the fourth, excuse me. Runners on second and third for the Wolverines. No outs. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss on an off-speed. Monty was fooled there, expecting the fastball was way ahead of it. Nice pitch there by Weingartner. She picks up the first strikeout for any Northwestern pitcher.
Good job by her to work her way back in after being down in the count. 3 balls, 0 strikes. So Weingartner staying composed out there with runners on second and third.
Now with the one out in the inning, it'll be up to Natalie Peters, who's 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch catches the outside part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Natalie Peters now goes to lay down a bunt. That one doesn't leave the batter's boxes. They'll be ruled foul, 0-2. And looks like the Northwestern coaching staff wanted Natalie Peters to be called out. Not sure for what reason, though. Peters, though, now faces an 0-2 hole as Weingartner looks to pitch out of runners on second and third with nobody out. And the 0-2 misses low and away, 1-2. Peters steps back into the back of that lefty's batter's box. Twists the bats in her hand, showing bunt. She pulls it back now as the 1-2 gets delivered. A slapper to first base. To Bush, she goes. Doesn't get there in time. Christner's going to come home. Alexander to third. She's going to get tagged out there, though. It will be an RBI single for Natalie Peters. As Michigan extends their lead to 3-0, Katie Alexander is tagged out at third base.
Northwestern dugout coach is not happy right now.
She thought that Bush, who fielded the chopper from Peters, got back to first base in time.
It was a close one, but it looked like Peters got there.
Yeah, it looked like Peters just edged it out.
Northwestern has been struggling to get runners out at first this afternoon.
Michigan on the wild play will get a run across. That was Kelly Christner scoring. Not sure why Katie Alexander waited so long to go from second to third. With Peters on first, though, Faith Canfield will step into the batter's box. Faith today is 1 of 2 with a ground out to second and a single on that bunt single that Weingartner couldn't quite get in time. Or excuse me, that would have been Newport couldn't get it in time as there was a miscommunication between her and Marquez at second. First pitch she saw missed high, and then the second pitch fouled way down that left field line. The count 1-1 for Faith Canfield. It looks like Natalie Peters was taking off on that pitch. Ryan Gardner looks in, gets the sign. Sets, winds, delivers, and a hard drive down left field line. Williams going back. She's not going to get it. A bomb from Faith Canfield. A 2-run home run as the Michigan second baseman touches them all and extends Michigan's lead to 5-0.
Wow, you knew that one was out of here as soon as it left the bat.
And not sure why the Wolverines are coming off of the field. We will try to get an explanation. They're going to say that the runner on first, Natalie Peters, left early. And that will eliminate the home run.
Wow.
As this one remains a 3-0 game. What a turn of events there for the Wolverines. Wow. So instead of a Faith Canfield home run, the umpire, first base umpire Naomi Erdahl, is going to say that Natalie Peters left first base early, thus resulting in an out, and the at-bat, or the pitch, never would have happened.
So that's the second time we've seen that now, but this time the stakes a little higher, so it would have been a home run.
What a turn of events. This one still remains in reach for the Northwestern Wildcats. That'll bring up now in the top of the fifth, Anna Peterson for the Wildcats, the 5-6-7 hitters. As the first pitch comes into Peterson from Megan Betts, a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. And on that last Michigan at bat from Faith Canfield, Peters must have left way early because it looked like there was no contention from the Michigan coaching staff.
That would explain why Michigan got off the field so quickly.
Megan Betts is going to call time and talk with Katie Alexander real quick, maybe getting their signs crossed. Peterson steps in, has her hand to the umpire, calling for a quick time. Now gets back in. The 1-1 delivered on the outside part of the plate. Misses, though, 2-1. Megan Betts in that circle, twirling the ball around in her hand. Twist. Taps her leg twice, now winds and delivers. And a high drive down left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. And it's going to hook foul. An absolute blast off the bat of Anna Peterson. That one went well past the scoreboard in left field. Will that change how Megan Betza pitches this at bat? The count is 2-2. Betza comes right back with the heat, but misses low. Count now full. The 3-2 from Megan Betza. Off speed, Peterson out ahead of it, fouls it down the first base line, or third base line, excuse me, past a diving Montemorano. Full count still here. Peterson steps in, waving that bat. The 3-2, swing and a miss. Fifth strikeout of the day for Megan Betza. As WCBN or Jeremy Parks might say, one for every finger on the hand. And I'll bring up Krista Williams, the left fielder who struck out her first time. First pitch she sees is a strike right down the middle. Now the 0-1. A tapper down the left field line. Foul. Looked like she was maybe looking to exploit that gap between left field and Lindsay Montemorano, who's obviously with the slab hitting Williams, playing way inside third base. Now 0-2. Betza looking for her sixth K of the day. And gets a foul tip straight back and off the face mask of home plate umpire Aaron Peterson. Count remains 0-2. Wind now blowing straight out to center field. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt as Alexander is going to have to throw down to first to complete the strikeout. Second strikeout of the inning, though, for Megan Betza. And there's 2 outs now as Brooke Marquez steps to the plate. Megan Betza with 6 Ks on the day, looking to strike out the side, I'm sure. First pitch to Marquez, swing and a miss. 0-1. Now the 0-1. Popped up into foul territory along that left field line, into that open field in between the grandstand bleachers and the hitting cages. And now Megan Betza is looking for her 7th strikeout of the day. The 0-2. Fouled on that third base line, but Monty's going to be able to make a play on it as she crashes into the Northwestern protective fencing. 1-2-3 inning, the third in a row for Megan Betza and the Wolverines as they go to the bottom of the 5th with a 3-0 lead.
The Wolverines return to home action on Tuesday, April 18th at 6 p.m. when they face in-state rival Michigan State right here at Alumni Field. Visit echoblue.com for more information or to
The
purchase
Wolverines finishing up this weekend series against the Wildcats. They have outscored them thus far 19-0 through the last two games and through 4.5 innings of today's game. Faith Canfield will get a fresh count as she will lead off this inning because Natalie Peters leaving the base early negated the Canfield home run. Weingartner back in the circle for the Wolverines. We do have the official line on Morgan Newport for you since that last inning and Kelly Christner came around to eventually score. 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, 3 runs total, and 1 strikeout to no walks. It'll be Canfield, Vargas, Richardson for the Wolverines. Faith Canfield had a monster blast at the end of the 4th inning. Let's see if she can do something similar here. First pitch she sees misses low, 1-0. The 1-0 misses low again, 2-0. The wind has moved to blowing straight out to left field now, helping any type of righty power, which is what Faith Canfield specializes in. She has 5 home runs to her name this season. And the 2-0 popped out of play into that left field area behind the bleachers. And it looks like third base umpire Megan Rabin is going to, I think maybe they were inspecting something in the circle. No action was taken, though. Not sure what that was all about, but we will resume play here as count is 3-0, or excuse me. And the next pitch will result in a walk to Faith Canfield. There was some confusion among what was going on the field and what was going on the scoreboard. That will bring up Amanda Vargas, though, the number 3 hitter. She's going to get hit in the elbow. That'll be a dead ball, and she'll advance to first. Now runners on first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. If Michigan can scratch across 5, they will earn a run rule victory. As Courtney Richardson now steps to the plate, who subbed in for Aiden Falk. Richardson batting .255 on the year. She has 12 hits and 47 at-bats. And has drawn 7 walks. And she attempts to lay on a bunt, pops it back foul as that goes into the backstop, 0-1. Hutch giving the signs to both runners and the batter. Down at third base. Canfield on second, Vargas on first. The 0-1 tries to get the bunt down, fouls it straight back. 0-2. And Hutch is not happy with the two bunt attempts by her sophomore left fielder, Courtney Richardson. Now the 0-2. Foul it straight back. It will remain the same count. You heard the Go Blue chant. Started up by the alumni band in those outfield bleachers. Them yelling go. The third base side yelling blue. Now Courtney Richardson will face the 0-2. Swing and a miss on a change-up. Way ahead of it was Richardson. Nice piece of pitching there by Weingartner for her second strikeout of the day. They'll bring up Tara Blanco with runners on first and second still. First pitch to Blanco misses outside. 1-0. Canfield getting awfully aggressive down at second.
Today, Blanco has 2 hits, 1 RBI.
They've been 2 strong hits. A couple line drives have bounced in front of left fielder Krista Williams. Now the 1-0 misses low, 2-0. Blanco looking to improve on her already impressive day at the plate. Now the 2-0 to Tara Blanco. Fastball right down Main Street, 2-1. It'll be interesting to see if Weingartner goes with that changeup. She's had luck thus far getting the Michigan hitters to be uncomfortable in that batter's box. The 2-1 misses way high as that one's at the shoulders of the already lengthy Tara Blanco. Number 24 in Mays standing in that box looking to bring home at least one more run. The count 3-1. The delivery from Weingartner. Misses outside. She's going to walk the bases loaded for Abby Ramirez. And Hutch is talking with the home plate umpire. It looks like there will be a sub for Amanda Vargas. Thais Gonzalez will come into pinch run. Gonzalez, another one of those base running specialists. She has appeared in 20 games thus far, only 6 at bats. As Ramirez steps to the plate, she's 0 for 2 today, batting well below her .372 average. She's due for a hit. First pitch she sees misses low and inside, ball 1. And we're going to have time as the Northwestern coaching staff will come out to speak with Weingartner, who has struggled with walks today, already has 2 of them. Before today, she had 22 on the season.
And Coach Carol Hutchins going to give Ramirez a couple words of advice.
Michigan knows if they can get at least a few more batters to the plate, this one could be over in a run rule as Michigan is up 3-0. They need 5 to reach that 8-run run rule victory, but they do have bases loaded with 1 out. The 1-0 to Ramirez. And a line drive hit to center field. Will it be deep enough? It looks like Canfield's going to tag up, and she is going to score from third. Michigan extends their lead to 4-0. As a sacrifice fly to center field will get Canfield in from third. Not the typical hit you would expect out of Abby Ramirez, the slap hitter known more for keeping things on the ground, but gets the job done and brings a run in. 4-0 Michigan. It looks like we may have a pitching change. Nicole Bond came running in from the bullpen area. We saw her pitch yesterday, and that'll be it for Weingartner as she finishes after giving up the sacrifice fly to Abby Ramirez. Nicole Bond, who pitched yesterday and ultimately earned the loss. She was masterful, though, in keeping the Wolverines off the board for most part, allowing a lot of runners on, but not allowing many of them to score. And I think that's what Northwestern is hoping here, that Nicole Bond can work some of the magic that she had yesterday. As there are still runners on first and second. With 2 outs and Kelly Christner stepping to the plate, Michigan finds themselves ahead 4-0. The line on Nicole Bond yesterday was 5.2 innings pitched, gave up 9 hits, 6 earned runs, but gave up 4 of those in the 6th inning. Home plate umpire Peterson's going to go in there and break up the powwow inside that circle. And it looks like we see from the Northwestern dugout, it looks like they have someone else warming up out there. Couldn't quite get a number. But we'll worry about that when the time comes, as we will worry about now Kelly Christner at the plate with runners on first and second and 2 outs in the first pitch from Nicole Bond. Misses. A toss down to second may have been in time to get Thais Gonzalez, who is awfully aggressive, but it was dropped there by Marquez. Heck of a throw there from Netling. Now the 0-1 to Christner. Fouled down the first baseline into the Big Ten camera well. So now it's 0-2. Christner finds herself in the hole. She's 1 for 2 today, has a single to right field and a ground out to second. Now the 0-2 to Christner. Misses high, 1-2. The 1-2 to Christner. Bounces in there on a pass ball, will advance both base runners 60 feet. Now runners on second and third. Something put relatively deep into the outfield, may score 2. As Blanco on second, not the fastest runner on the team, but will have the benefit of being able to run on contact with 2 outs. Now the 2-2. Christner pops that one out and foul down the left field line. A lot of foul balls today. Two with 2 outs to number 21, Kelly Christner. Pop fly into center field. It looks like Panko will call it off, and that'll end the inning. Michigan gets across 1 on a Ramirez sacrifice fly, and as we go to the top of the 6th, Michigan leads 4-0. Megan Batso returning to the circle for the Wolverines. Having a fine day today. Gave up 2 hits, first 2 hits, or gave up those hits in the first 2 innings. But other than that, she's gone 3 straight 1-2-3 innings and has recorded 6 strikeouts today. I'm sure she'll look to pick up once again a few more. Elsie Bush, Sammy Netling, and Sabrina Rabin, who up for the Northwestern Wildcats.
Bush 0 for 1 today, only batting 119. That's a will look to continue to roll.
67 at-bats, only 8 hits and 16 strikeouts. She popped out to Tara Blanco in her first at-bat in the 3rd inning, and I'm sure Megan Betzel would have no regrets if she tacked on strikeout number 17 of the season to Elsie Bush. First pitch fouled back slightly to the right into the protected netting. 0-1 now the count. Batso winds, delivers. Oh, and she's going to hit Elsie Bush right in the protective elbow padding. Hutch maybe asking to make sure that Bush made an effort to get out of the way, as it was called on Tara Blanco that she did not. So, but to no avail. Bush will take her spot on first base, and we will have a pinch runner coming in for her. That will be Abby Boyd, pinch running for Elsie Bush. Up now to the plate will be Sammy Netling. The hitting doesn't get much better as Netling only batting 197 on the year. She grounded out to Ramirez in the 3rd inning. Boyd is 2 for 2 this year on stolen base attempts. And the 1-0 to Netling comes in for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1, swing and a miss on a pitch down in dirt, and a throw behind to first base, not in time to get Boyd, who was getting awfully aggressive down there, but count 1-2. The 1-2, chop to Montemurano. She flips to second and gets the lead runner in Boyd. Not enough time to try and turn it, but Monty at third does a nice job flashing the leather on the backhand and getting Boyd at second. As Netling will advance to first on a fielder's choice. They'll bring up Sabrina Rabin, who had that leadoff single in the first inning, but then got called out for leaving early. With one out here in the top of the sixth. First pitch she sees misses, ball one. Megan Betza getting her sign from Coach Brundage as she checks that wristband. She now winds, delivers. Misses high, 2-0. Look at that scoreboard and you see Michigan with an impressive string of Big Ten championships. I'm sure they're going to want to continue that, but they'll have to get by the likes of Minnesota, who's got one heck of a team up north this year. Next pitch right down the middle, 2-1. Now the 2-1 to Rabin. Skips it in there, misses. Alexander popped out of her stance. It looked like Netling was thinking about moving, and Alexander was thinking about maybe throwing to Terra Blanco at first. But everything holds, and now time will be called. Now, Hutchins is going to join both Alexander and Betza in the circle. Netling only one stolen base attempt this year, but she was successful on it. Michigan leads 4-0 here in the top of the sixth. Runner on first with one out for the Wildcats with Sabrina Rabin at the plate. She has a 3-1 count. Betza comes in and Rabin swings and fouls one straight back. Counts full. The payoff pitch. And a tapper to Betza. Betza's going to fire it back to second. Faith Canfield steps on the base just in time to get the lead runner, Netling. Heads up playing, a nice throw there by Megan Betza. There's two outs now in the inning as Sabrina Rabin finds herself on first by way of the fielder's choice. Now up the number 2 hitter, Marissa Panko. She's 0 for 2 on the day. She has a single and she has a ground out and a foul fly. First one she sees, she fouls back into the protective netting, 0-1. The next pitch misses way high, 1-1. Megan Betza steps into that circle. Twists, taps, winds, delivers. And a bunt attempt from Panko is going to go foul. Running the count 1-2. Thought she could catch the Michigan defense sleeping. The 1-2 now from Betza. Right down the middle, but no call. Must have missed low. As Rabin will swipe second base, her 14th stolen base of the year. Now with the runner on second and 2 outs, a 2-2 count to Marissa Panko. Fires, misses inside. They appeal down to third. Megan Rabin, the third base umpire, says no swing. I would have to agree. Counts now full with 2 outs. Sabrina Rabin on second, Marissa Panko at the plate for the Wildcats. Megan Betza shakes off a few signs, calls time, wants to make sure they get the right pitch here. Rabin and Panko, the only batters on this Northwestern squad, currently batting above 300. Now the 3-2. Skips one in there, and that's a walk, something you don't see very often. Only the 41st walk of the year issued by Megan Betza. Now there's runners on first and second for Morgan Nelson, the third baseman who's 0 for 2 today. Michigan huddling inside that circle. With 2 outs, all Betza needs here is something easy on the ground or in the air. She can do it her way and get the strikeout. Megan Betza flashing that smile out there, doesn't look too worried. The first pitch to Nelson. Strike right down the middle. Now the 0-1. Misses just a bit outside, 1-1. The 1-1. Swing and a miss on a ball at the eyes. No chance of Nelson catching up to that one. 1-2 now the count. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And a swing and a miss. A strikeout for every day of the week for Megan Betza. She retires Morgan Nelson and the Wildcats in the top of the 6th. As they go to the bottom, Michigan still leads this one 4-0. The Wildcats have been held hitless since the 2nd inning. Weingartner back in the circle for the Wildcats. Baseball has concluded on the other side of the sidewalk separating these 2 games. I believe they won that one 14-1. Baseball having a heck of a season this year. They're ranked 22nd in the country. Michigan ranked 20th in the country this year, holding a 25-7-1 record and 5-0 in the Big Ten, looking to go 6-0 if they can hold on today. Due up for the Wolverines is Katie Alexander, Lindsay Montemorano, and Natalie Peters. Alexander taking a few aggressive hacks, warming up outside of the righty's batter spots. Stretches that bat behind her head now. Steps in, ready to... Oh, excuse me, it was Nicole Bond back in the circle for the Wildcats as she worked her magic to hold the Wolverines to only one run in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch to Alexander is a strike. The 0-1 to Alexander from Bond. Misses way high, 1-1. Yesterday we saw Bond struggle with her command, skipping a lot of them in the dirt, missing low most of the time. The 1-1. Golf swings that one, pops it up to the right fielder Peterson. She moves in there easily and records the first out of the bottom of the sixth. Now bring up the third baseman and ninth hitter of this lineup, Lindsay Montemorano. Monty is 0 for 2 today, has had a couple of opportunities to get some clutch base knocks, but hasn't been able to cash in as she has 2 strikeouts to her name today. Only had 8 coming in. Trying to avoid that golden sombrero. First pitch she sees misses high at the eyes, 1-0. The 1-0 misses high and outside, 2-0. Two-0 count to Monty, 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth. Northwestern will presumably have at least one more chance at the plate. The 2-0 fouled straight down third base line. Monty trying to get back on the right track here and avoid a third strikeout. The 2-1 comes in for a strike, 2-2, and now Nicole Bond has Lindsay Montemorano on the ropes. Bond looking for her first strikeout today and 24th of the year. 2-2 skips it in there, and it hit Monty after the skip. She will be awarded her free base. Reminiscent of yesterday, we saw Nicole Bond skip a lot of them in there. Natalie Peters now up to the dish for the Wolverines, the slap hitting right fielder. First pitch she sees fouls it straight back. Nicole Bond steps in there. Northwestern neglecting to go with the wristband, which you see so many college pitchers use. The 0-1 fouled straight back 0-2. They're electing to go with traditional signs where Netling will look over into the dugout, receive the pitch from her coach, and then relay that to whomever is pitching in that circle today. Just happens to be Nicole Bond at the moment. The 0-2 to Peters. Misses high, 1-2. The 1-2. And they're going to say it got the outside part of the black. Strike 3, caught looking, was Natalie Peters. First strikeout of the day for Nicole Bond, 24th on the year, and that'll be the second out of this inning. Only the 7th strikeout of the season for Natalie Peters. So we'll now bring up Faith Canfield with Lindsay Monterano still positioned there on first base. First pitch misses low, ball 1. The 1-0. Chopped off at the hands, coming in as a charging Marquez, and she just narrowly misses collision with a sliding Panko, but that will end the inning as we head to the top of the 7th. Last call for the Wildcats as Megan Betza trots back out there with a 4-0 lead and has yet to give up a hit since the 2nd inning.
And with 7 strikeouts, she's going to try to make this quick and the game for the Wolverines.
The alumni band, always a delight to have here at Alumni Field. An excellent atmosphere, I'm sure. If you haven't had the opportunity to come out and watch a Michigan softball game this year or ever, make sure you come out and watch it. Maybe make sure to watch one of the days that Megan Betz is pitching. She has been truly special in her time here at the University of Michigan. Michigan into the top of the 7th. Northwestern down to the final 3 out. You're listening to WCVN Sports, the student sports radio network of Michigan Athletics. Don't talk Emily Herard on the call. And like Emily said earlier, I'm sure Megan Betza is looking to make this one quick so they can go home and enjoy their Sunday evening on this beautiful afternoon. You look out over center field, you can see many iconic and important University of Michigan buildings. The first pitch from Betza to the first batter of this inning, Kenzie Ellis, is a strike right down the middle. Very scenic here at Alumni Field. We're being right down in the middle of South Campus, the athletic campus here at the university. Now the 0-1, outside third of the plate, 0-2. Megan Betza still has a chance to reach that double-digit strikeout average. The 0-2 misses just a little bit. 1-2. That was one of the closer pitches we've seen today. Megan Betza smiling out there, knowing that she is oh so close to her 8th strikeout of the day. And a swing and a miss from Kenzie Ellis. 8th strikeout of the day for Megan Betza. As they humming around the infield, there's one down here in the top of 7th. 2 more outs to go before Michigan can walk away with a sweep and move into 6-0 in Big Ten play. And now the first pitch to Anna Peterson is a swing and a miss strike. Anna Peterson, who's made a few plays out there in right field today. She has the last known Northwestern hit that doubled the left center field. The 0-1 just barely misses outside, 1-4.
1-1, and you hear the Michigan dugout getting louder, and that was another close call. They're getting excited for Megan Betza.
And now the 1-1 from number 3. That one misses way outside, 2-1. Infield playing their normal depth, outfield playing normal depth. Maybe outfield playing a little deeper than normal. And a changeup gets a swing and a miss out of Anna Peterson. Now Northwestern down to their final 4 strikes. Anna Peterson faces a 2-2 for Megan Betza. Misses just the outside corner as Katie Alexander is going to hold it there for an extra beat. Count now full. 3-2-1, it says on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. And the money pitch from Betza. Misses low, ball 4, the second walk of the day, issued by Megan Betza. Something pretty uncharacteristic. Still a little bit of hope here for the Wildcats as Krista Williams steps to the plate. She has been the victim of a couple of strikeouts. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner here for Peterson. It looks to be Ava Stees, the freshman catcher slash infielder. Krista Williams back up to the plate, 256 season after. She attempts a bunt, but pulls it back, but it did cross the zone, so a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 from Betza to Williams. Fouled back over the bleachers on the third base side. 0-2. Now the 0-2 from Betza. A chopper to Canfield. Canfield has to range to her left, has to quickly flip it over to first as they will record the out there. Now 2 outs for the Michigan Wolverines. They're 1 out away from getting their 6th win in Big Ten play, and if all things hold, it would be their 7th consecutive shutout. Brooke Marquez will be the last hope for the Northwestern Wildcats. She's 0 for 2 today, has a strikeout looking and a foul fly to Monty Morano. First pitch he sees misses high, 1-0. And a swing and a miss there from Megan Betza. She gasses one right by the Northwestern second baseman. Count was 1-1. Now the 1-1. Misses low, 2-1. Now the 2-1 from Megan Betza. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Marquez was way ahead of it, 2-2, and final strike for the Wildcats and Brooke Marquez. They're trying to avoid being swept here in Ann Arbor. Michigan fans grumbling in the bleachers. The 2-2 fouled away. Nice job there by Marquez, pulling the potential put-away pitch. The 2-2. Swing and a miss on one in the dirt. The 9th strikeout of the day for Megan Betza. Michigan claims their 26th win of the year as they sweep Penn State and outscore them by the tune of 20-0, 4-0 today in 7. Emily, what did you see out there that allowed the Wolverines to get it done?
Well, great performance by Megan Betza. At first, a little slow, only 2 strikeouts, but she ended the afternoon with 9, almost got to that double-digit mark. But great performance by Betza on Megan Betza Day.
On Megan Betza Day, nonetheless, like you said, a fitting way for her to give to the fans and have the fans give back to her. Megan Betza, final line on her was 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs, not giving up a hit since the 2nd inning. And with that, for Dalton Pataki, Emily Herard, and the entire WCBN crew, have a nice Sunday and good night and go blue.